Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there is a man from Uganda who shared a story in relation to the Bible and the Quran as far as the issue of heaven and hell is concerned. That story has a very deep meaning or understanding to do with our daily life as far as the issue of campaign, election, and governance is concerned. He has really related that story so nicely. And this one is a good lesson to the electorate to learn something. So in his story, he is explaining that there is a man who died. And when he died on that day, there was no judgment. So the man was asked to make a decision for himself whether if he want to go to heaven or hell. But then that man cleverly requested to see heaven and hell before he make the final decision on where to go. So, as his request, it was granted. And after visiting hell, then again visiting heaven, he made a decision. The decision to him, it was to go to hell, but not heaven. Then, what he realized later, it was that he made a very wrong decision, despite the fact that he had a chance to visit those two places. It has a very strong meaning to our political life, to our economic life, and as Kenyans, this is a lesson we need to learn from. So, without wasting time, I want to listen to this story. Then from there, we are going to continue with our discussion. Because in the story, you can compare the Azimio and the Kenya Kwanza side. William Ruto, the overseer of Kenya Kwanza, Raila Odinga, the overseer of Azimio. Listen to the story.
A little story about a big man who died and went to the other side. On that day, God had decreed that whoever arrives must choose where to go, whether heaven or hell. So this man was excited. He demanded to visit hell first. And he got into something which looked like a lift, and he went down to hell. When the doors opened, things were glorious. The devil had no tail. The devil had no horns. He even met his friends. They were healthy, eating well, drinking well, making merry. Then it was time up, and he then demanded to be taken to heaven. In heaven, the picture was nice. Angels floating around, good music, the Lord Almighty presiding and reigning supreme. Finally, he was asked, what's your choice? Because you are not going to be judged. There's no judgment today. Judge for yourself. He thought, you know, these bishops have been telling lies and spoiling the name of the devil. The devil is a very fine man. He looks after his people. Now all these imams in the mosques making noise, saying Satan, Satan. This man is not bad at all. And in any case, heaven seems to be overrated. As a matter of fact, it's a bit boring. That was the debate in his head. So when the angel asked him to choose, he said, I have chosen that I'll go to hell, now that I've seen it with my own eyes. And the angel said, get into the lift. He got into the lift and it took him down. But when the doors opened, things had changed. The place looked like a desert. His friends were wearing dirty clothes. They were eating from the garbage pit. And the devil was now complete in his devilish regalia. The tail was out. The horns were out. And he was carrying a whip. So he tiptoed towards the devil and said, excuse me, sir, you remember me, don't you? I was here the other day. You surely remember me. And Lucifer said, go to hell. I don't remember you. What do you have to say anyway? He said, you know, the other day things were very nice here. Things have been changed for the worse today. What's happening? The devil said, I'm sorry, my friend. The day you came, we were campaigning. So, now, therefore, we need to tell our people to know that there's life after campaigns.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now we are continuing this Bangla discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the story in that video is self-explanatory. This man really scored very well in narrating that story. I have listened to this video more than 4 times. And one thing that comes out clear is that there is time for everything. There is a season, and we have different seasons. There is time for campaign, and there is time for governance. So the electorate have a lesson to learn from this video. They should not confuse the season for campaign with the time for governance. Once you confuse the two, you end up making a very wrong decision. Like that man was given a chance to go to heaven and go to hell. So in hell, everything was good. There was celebration. It was merry. All types of food, all types of drink. And he even got a chance to see his friends. The Satan was nice. There was no horns. There was no tail. He wasn't arrogant. He was so friendly. He spoke sweet word. And the man was happy, of course. You can relate this to our politics. When I listen to that, then I compare the two. I see handouts in Kenya Kwanza during campaign. They used very nice language. It was selling for the poor. But you compare to Azimio, where now he was taken to heaven. Yes, the angels were singing, but it wasn't that much celebration. And that can be compared to Azimio, where there was no handouts, but they were saying the truth on what they can do in this country. So, you go to Kenya Kwanza, you will get handouts. This is the time when Ruto was going to the border riders, and he waves 2 million. He goes to Mamamboga and he gives 3 million. People thought that if Ruto will become the president, he will be the president of handouts. There will be celebration in his leadership. There will be handouts in his governance. Do we have handouts now? No. It was time for campaign. Now it is you, Mamamboga. It is you, Boda Boda, who is giving money to William Ruto. So things were just glorious in heaven. Angels were singing. But there was not that hyped celebration. All types of drink you would want, from whiskey to any other thing you can mention. But they were truthful. You can relate this. Uhuru warned Kenyans that I know this man, I have worked with him. It is better you choose Mzee, who has no any interest in accumulating your money for his own selfish gain. People did not listen. So people made very wrong decision even after having a chance. But now, living with the reality, when the man was taken back to hell, because he made a decision that I will go to hell, not heaven. Because in hell, it is celebration, it is merry. Then when he went back, he saw a desert. Now the devil was in his full regalia, where there is horns, there is tail, and the man is arrogant. Very arrogant. That is the situation we are in now. William Ruto of handouts during campaign is not the same William Ruto who is now in power. He's back in his full regalia. William Ruto of super promises, wonderful promises, is no longer the same William Ruto in Statehouse. Today, he is a liar, and he has taken lies to another level. The orphans are suffering. The poor have no space to breathe. The less fortunate in our society, they cannot survive. The civil servants are paying taxes heavily. 16% from 8% of Uhuru Kenyatta has become a huge burden to Kenyans. That is the desert we are in now. So in that story, you can see heaven and hell. You can see the devil and you can see God. You can see the two. There was celebration in UDA every time. Anywhere they got to, you smell money. Money, 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 money. Now there's not this smell for money. Hakuna. Mambo yamebadilika. So we have a lesson to learn. We have to listen very keenly to politicians when they come to us during campaign. And when they have to come with the money, we have to question the source of their money. And one question we have to ask ourselves, will these people be giving us money when they become president or whoever? Will they continue with this program of giving money? And how can they sustain this program of giving money if we are choosing handouts? That is a question that people of Mount Kenya, Rift Valley, and other areas across the country have to ask themselves when they voted for William Ruto. Is Ruto still realistic? Because the devil was not realistic. During campaign, he used all his resources he had to convince and confuse the people. They followed him to hell. Where there is suffering, there is desert, and no treatment as a human. They are subjected to suffering. This is where we are now as a country. The situation is dire, and there is not much I can add on this. I hope you have enjoyed listening to that story. Thank you, and see you in our next video.